Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the More on Our podcast. I am one of your hosts, Zach.
Hello, and I'm the other one, Dan.
So, before we get into this episode, as always, go ahead, do us a favour, hit that like button if you find yourself enjoying this one. It really does help us out. We do appreciate it, and it does help to promote the podcast. And promoting the podcast is, of course, what, Dan?
It is spreading the more on love.
Exactly that, my friend. This episode, we're not going to jump into the moronic or not straight away. We are going to go to a Would You Rather from one of you viewers. We do this every now and then. If you guys send us it in via Instagram, we do them. So if you have any, send them in. Now, Dan, would you rather be in a coma for 5 years or in solitary confinement for 6 months?
Oh, bloody hell. You know, that's actually kind of a good question. Coma for 5 years. That's
5 years of your life gone, mate.
in solitary confinement for 6 months is...
Bear in mind, in solitary confinement, you get, like, no human contact, right?
Yeah, you'll go mad.
Yeah, I think it's no human contact anyway. Could be wrong.
Then you've got to take into account, like, you know, therapy, how long it's going to take to recover, or if you recover at all.
Yeah, true.
Bloody hell, that's a tough one. I actually don't know what to go for here.
It is a tough one, isn't it?
I'll probably go for a coma for 5 years.
Coma for 5 years, really?
At least with a coma, you don't really feel anything.
True, although some say you do, but...
Well,
I think, right?
I don't know.
I think solitary confinement for 6 months, I feel like it would be, like, I'd see it as a challenge. As, like, I feel like it would be a nice kind of detox from all the shit that's going on in the world. Like, think about it. You won't have access to the news. You won't have access to any technology. Like, yes, you'll probably end up going mad, but at the same time, it's only 6 months. So I feel like eventually you'll lose track of time.
I mean, they're not going to put clocks in the rain. That's another thing.
You know what? Shall we say you obviously have a window so you can tell what time of day it is. You have a clock so you can tell what time of day it is, obviously.
If there was no time, no way of keep tracking time, then the time disorientation will, like, really...
All right, let's say you can keep track of time, and you're allowed one calendar, like a paper calendar, to check off the days or something. I don't know.
Well, still no, because it's just going to get boring. Like, you're literally just...
It would, but at the same, like, I think it would be a good detox from, like, especially social media as well.
I could understand like a week, but 6 months is way too long.
Essentially, yeah.
I think I'm going to go with my answer.
What, with a coma?
Yeah.
See, I actually don't know. I genuinely don't know what I do.
If you had to pick one, what would it be?
Well, yeah, that's the whole fucking point, Dan.
What would it be?
See, a coma for 5 years is a long time. Pretty much all of your friends, all of your, well, at least some of your family would have moved on, right? So, like, say if you've got a significant other, they would probably move on. Your friends would probably move on.
I mean, it's a bit to catch up on, but
A bit. It's 5 years, mate.
yeah, but I mean, you can catch up on in 5 years.
People go into coma. People go into a coma for like 2 months and they're fully out of it.
Yeah, but
I don't know. That's actually really tough, you know.
well, you got to pick one. The podcast is only an hour long.
Yeah, it's true, actually. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go for solitary confinement for 6 months. I might go mad, but as long as I have a clock and, like, I can tell what time of day it is, I can tell what day it is, all of that shit. I feel like it would be better than. I feel like it'd be better to be out of the loop for 6 months than be out of the loop for 5 years.
I mean, I've never been in a coma or in solitary confinement, so
No, neither have I, funnily enough.
yeah. Would you imagine? Yeah, a bit hard to tell, but I'm going to stick with my original answer.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go solitary confinement. So to the viewer that sent that in, you know who you are. Thanks for the question. Is that right? Is that right? That doesn't seem okay, but anyway. Now we are going to move into the moronic or not section. So if you guys are new here, this section is where we get 5 random words or short phrases from you, lovely viewers, and collectively decide whether that word or thing is moronic or not. It's in the name. It's kind of self-explanatory, really. That can be the concept, it can be the thing itself, it can be from one of our personal experiences, and it doesn't really matter because it's entirely subjective, meaning you guys can have a different opinion, and it doesn't matter. So, the first one on the Moronic or Not section for this episode is remote controlled cars or RC cars, like the little toys you get that you control with a remote.
Oh, then. Oh, those ones. Fuck. I mean, I've personally never used one. Have you?
You've never used one in your entire 20 years of life.
Oh no, I've used. No, I've. Oh, they have that sort of game at like malls of theme parks where you can control the cars.
Are you talking about the thing that they used to have in the entertainer shops? There'd always be that one guy just playing with a remote controlled car in the middle of the bloody hallway or whatever.
Every time you go into the entertainer, there's always one guy just messing around with like just whatever. It's now like a sort of drone. They love to play around with drones.
That doesn't shock me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like the next big thing. Um,
Oh, almost definitely. But we're not here to talk about drones. We're here to talk about remote controlled cars.
but I can't say I've ever used them. But funny enough, I've watched an episode of Impractical Jokers where they like that they would control the car, like someone else would do it, but it would be as if like the person's turn it is controlling the car, except one of the other ones is controlling it, and then they'll ram it into like a person or whatever, and like they can't say sorry.
Oh, I think I've seen that episode actually. That's kind of an earlier season, isn't it?
It's a earlier season change. I don't think they do that much more.
I feel like it's after they got big, like after I don't even know how many seasons there are. I'm gonna assume like 2 or 3. They got big, I'm gonna assume. So I feel like it all just became like fake and staged. Because surely you maybe not know who they are, but you know what they're doing.
Yeah, they get recognised a lot.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Like, surely some of it's got to be fake now, right? It has to be.
No, I've not heard any like controversy about it. Apparently, it's like all real. But it's like they get recognised a lot, so they have to edit like a lot of it out, and it gets very like inconvenient for them. And it's
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, surely.
yeah. But back on the topic though, I'm just gonna go number one. I've not really got anything to say about this one.
I'm gonna go not moronic. I quite like remote control cars. I had one as a kid. Fuck knows where it is now. But yeah, God knows. Uh,
Yeah, what's the next one?
all right. Next one is skateboards. Never had one. Never used one. Probably never gonna use one.
Have you seen the people like you got the railings on stairs? They like try and get their skateboard and they'll put it between the railings and they'll go down the stairs.
Oh yeah,
They'll do like some weird, like really weird shit with it.
mate. That is just skateboarders in general. I feel like skateboarders are a very American thing. Like I don't feel like you see many in the UK.
It is a very American thing, like skate parks as well.
Oh yeah, they're a thing, aren't they?
I'll say that's exclusively American. I've not really seen one.
I know I have seen you see like one or two every now and then, don't you, in the UK?
Every now and then, yeah, but it's like
Oh my god. Do you remember that one kid in school? I'm not going to say his name for privacy reasons. Um, do you remember he used to have a skateboard and he used to take it to school?
really? I can't remember who that was.
Yeah. I'll text you it now. I'll text you it now. You might remember the kid. I I think that was his name.
Oh right. Yeah, I'm curious to who that would have been. Yeah.
I've definitely spelt it wrong, but I don't care.
But coming to school on a skateboard.
It was that kid, wasn't it? I swear he had a skateboard. He used to take it to school.
Yeah, you're very good at that. Oh God, yeah.
I mean, I do own a skateboard. I say own one. I've owned it since I was about 6. Never, I actually never really stepped foot on it for years because I was, a 6-year-old and I didn't understand what the fuck it was.
It can be faster than walking if you sort of use it correctly. But again, isn't something like a bicycle just faster and more convenient?
Or for any adults out there, a car.
A car, but yeah, it's like for some shorter journeys, if you're I don't know, going to the supermarket that's like 10 minutes across the road, then you wouldn't really want to use your car.
Yeah, some people are weird. Anyway, skateboards. I'm gonna go. I might say moronic, because there's literally a plank of wood with wheels on it. That's all it is, really.
Did you ever watch Casey Neistat, YouTuber? He always like used to vlog himself. He was always on his skateboard as well. He would use his skateboard everywhere, and it actually looks like it's convenient for him. He makes it look so easy.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure if you can do it, fair play to you. But I've never tried, so
I mean, you can make like use out of it, but it's easier just to learn to ride a bike, I think. I don't know, because if you can use it, it's impressive, but I don't think it's convenient. So I'm not like,
yeah. But Dan, also think about all the fail compilations that went around in like 2014 or whatever of just people falling off the skateboards and nearly going into the road or going down staircases and stacking it and smacking their head on the stair.
oh yeah, I'm sure you've trained there's tons of it with old skateboards. Yeah, I'm gonna go moronic.
All right, the next one. Weird. This one just completely off to the side and random. Tumbleweeds.
What tumbleweeds?
Yeah, tumbleweeds. The thing that used to go across a screen in a TV show to symbolize, I don't know, the quiet.
What earth are you supposed to say about tumbleweeds?
I have no idea, my friend. You know what? You know what? Guess what, Dan? I'm gonna Google the fucking what is a tumbleweed.
What is a tumbleweed? I think we can. I mean, fair enough.
It
I
is a
cannot say anything
It's a
about
plant
tumbleweeds.
of arid regions which breaks off near the ground in late summer, forming a high globular masses which are tumbled about by the wind. There you go. There's a tumbleweed for you.
Fair enough. That's something they don't teach you in GCSE geography.
They don't teach you a lot, and who cares?
They taught us a lot in GCSE geography. I can't remember any of it because it's all fucking pointless.
Hey. Oxbow lakes are very important to absolutely no one apart from river experts.
I mean, are they more important than tumbleweeds?
Potentially. I don't know. What? You know what, viewers? Vote in the comments down below. What's more important, tumbleweeds or oxbow lakes? Vote in the comments. We'll put a poll up on Instagram too.
I'm going moronic.
You know what? You know what? I'm just gonna go moronic for that suggestion.
That is probably the stupidest suggestion I think I've ever heard of.
No, it's not, Dan. Dan. Back in the day, we used to have names beginning with J.
Oh, I love the names beginning with ones.
Like that's the level we were working with in back in like episode 3 or whenever it was. Actually, you know what? What episode was that? It was episode 4. It was episode 4, mate. That's the level we peaked at apparently. So it's not the dumbest suggestion, but it's definitely up there. Yeah, whoever suggested that, you're a moron.
Yep.
Anyway, the next one is the lottery.
Oh, the lottery.
Have you ever done the lottery? Have you ever participated?
No, but I've done the scratch cards. The thing about what bugs me about the scratch cards is when you turn over the scratch card, it comes up with the odds to win, and they'll always say like 1 in 4.44 or some number like that. And you would think 1 in 4 is okay. Like the last 10 scratch cards I've done, no winner.
Yeah, I mean, I've only ever participated in the lottery once, and that wasn't even my doing. So for Christmas last year, technically now, um, my dad got me a scratch card, not scratch card, an actual lottery ticket, like from the National Lottery. I didn't win anything, shockingly.
Yeah, my dad's friend has won the lottery.
Yeah, but when you say win the lottery, do you mean just a tenner?
I think no, he won like a couple million, I think.
Oh, that's clock. Fair play to you then. Like,
He's always like, whenever he's friends like sort of hang out with him, he always pays for their stuff.
fair enough. I mean, he's got the money, so
Yeah, everyone's happy when they see him. They know they don't have to pay, and he doesn't mind because he's like got stacks of money. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's such a slim chance that any business that relies on gambling, you know what I mean. The odds are already stacked against you. It's designed to make you lose.
Then again, if you look at the McDonald's Monopoly thing that they do yearly, of course the BMW or the car or whatever the top tier of prize is when you get Park Lane and Mayfair. Uh, Shockingly, that never gets found because, well, funnily enough, it never goes anywhere because they don't print them. You'll win a free McFlurry or a fruit bag or something like that. You might get yourself a free hash brown like I did last year, but realistically, no one's ever getting that BMW, the Fiat, the whatever it is.
I've never heard of anyone get, because there's always one property that's in each color set that's really really rare. I've never heard of anyone get that property in any color set ever.
I'm gonna quickly look it up. Has anyone ever got the top tier prize in the McDonald's?
I think that there actually was a TV show about that. It wasn't really that good, but I think the FBI even looked into it because like it was allegedly that these tickets were, I think they were either fake or they were selling them off to like people that they want to win, if that makes sense. So there was some sort of rigging involved.
I love how when you Google this stuff, it's just a bunch of like Reddit articles basically saying, "Oh, does anyone have a Mayfair that I can buy off you?" Like they're gonna do that. Like anyone is ever gonna sell you a Mayfair when they have a chance of winning 100 grand.
Yeah, but people are gonna like scam you, aren't they? With that, they've got to claim that they have the Mayfair one using Photoshop, and then they're gonna.
Exactly, yeah. That's reminded me. Have you ever? Do you remember the thing that went? I can't even remember what year ago that was now. Uh, the guy that bought an Xbox One for like 350 quid, but it was actually a picture of an Xbox One.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Those like online shopping websites, where you can like buy stuff of other people, they're very sketchy.
Well, they are, but then again, eBay is like a proper thing now. It's not like Etsy or something where you just. It's not like Craigslist where you're just buying it off Dave. Like you actually have like ratings and all that. Like it's a proper thing now. Like, and like eBay can fine you if you like what's it called? If you do something against TOS, they will just like sue you basically.
Yeah, that's fair enough. If they can regulate it, then fine. But
Yeah.
actually, yeah, speaking of the lottery, I found the other day that someone in 2005 actually cheated on the lottery.
How do you cheat on the lottery? Do you just buy like 7 million tickets or something?
Partly, and I'll explain what this is. So there was a guy called James Harvey. He was in his final semester of his mathematics degree at MIT, and one day he came across a game called Windfall. Essentially, this is like a normal lottery game. So you pick a load of numbers, and then on the day of the draw, if you match, let's say there's seven, for example, if you match all seven, you win the jackpot, right? But you get preliminary prizes if you match like five or six, for example. What was special about Windfall is when the jackpot reached $2 million, if there was no winner, there was a thing called a roll down. And essentially, this means that the preliminary prizes increase in price while the jackpot prize actually decreases. So, essentially, what he did during this roll down phase, when the preliminary prizes were a lot bigger, he bought like a massive amount of tickets. He actually spent around $600,000 on lottery tickets during the roll down phase, and then he actually earned 15% of his earn of like the £600,000. If you add 15% onto that, that's what he made. So 15% profit out of that. He did this over 7 years. Guess how much profit he made, roughly?
As a percentage or as a number?
Number.
I don't know, 4 million.
You're very close. 3.5 million. This was during the course of 7 years. He made $3.5 million over 7 years, pretty much. He was actually in a group of people in MIT, but I think he was the person that sort of started it all. And then obviously it attracted loads of other people on that. But after this, though, like loads of other groups started to realise this, and then it got round to the MIT lottery, and essentially they were forced to change the rules of Windfall, so that you can't like bulk buy a load of tickets, pretty much. And then eventually the Windfall game was discontinued, and it's no longer a thing now.
Actually, it was in America, right?
Yeah, because MIT, yeah, Massachusetts.
So he had to pay tax on that because in the UK you don't have to pay tax on national lottery, but in the US you do. So he probably lost a decent whack at that.
Yeah, I don't know, but like it was still enough for the lottery staff to change the rules. Or no, now we even shut down the game.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, back to moronic or not section. Um, what are we gonna say for it? Moronic or not?
I'm actually gonna go moronic for this one. For all those times I've been like scammed by scratch cards as well.
That's fair. I think if you're not doing it out of like desperation or habit, if it's just like a one-off thing, then it's fine. But if you're like, if you see it as a form of gambling, I mean, obviously it is a form of gambling, but if you like do it religiously to gamble, then it is moronic. But I think I'm gonna go not moronic, you know, because I think it is a bit of fun. I think it. I don't know. I feel like it's a good little thing. It's just up to chance, really. All right. The last one on the moronic or not section for this episode is decorative tat.
Tat.
Yeah, decorative tat. I don't know what that means.
What's tat?
Tat is just like useless shit, basically. You know what? Let me. You know what? Let me get up the definition of tat. So the definition of tat is anything that looks cheap and is low quality or in bad condition.
I searched up decorative tat on Google and it thinks I meant decorative tattoo.
I mean, yeah, it is also an informal word for tattoo, isn't it? Um, I'm going to assume this person did not mean tattoo, otherwise they would have said tattoo. So decorative tat.
Here's what I'm thinking. What if you like you go into abandoned buildings, right? And you just get a load of shit from there, and then you try and make it attractive and then sell it off.
Don't give people ideas, because there are stupid people that will do that.
I saw this thing on Instagram where it's like if you're homeless, then you can go into abandoned buildings, get a
No, it's
load of used
illegal. It's
stuff.
it's technically trespassing.
Ask Instagram. That's what they said. And then there's like they said they just take the stuff from the abandoned buildings and then sell it.
Congratulations, that's theft. Alrighty then. So, what are we going to say for decorative tat then? I don't really know what else you could say on it other than what we've already said.
I think this one is just as bad as tumbleweed.
No, I think tumbleweeds is worse. Actually, no, this is worse. This is much worse. Because tumbleweeds, we can say something.
It's not even tattoo. If it was tattoo, then I could talk about mouth tattoos from a few episodes ago.
Oh, not again. Not again. Anyway, decorative tat. I'm going to go moronic.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I think I've said moronic a lot this episode. So I'm going to go for it again.
I'm now going to do the wrap up and then we'll dive into our regularly scheduled nonsense. So, remote control cars, we said not moronic. Skateboards, we said moronic. Tumbleweeds, we said moronic. The lottery, we had a bit of discrepancy there. With you saying moronic, I said not moronic. And decorative tat, we both agreed with moronic.
I think I've never said moronic 4 times out of 5.
Yeah. But actually, interestingly, what I've noticed in recent episodes is we've always disagreed on one. There's always one that we disagree on.
There is normally one, isn't there? And it's always like towards the end, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always like the third or fourth one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very strange. Yeah.
Now you spoke about drones earlier, didn't you? When we were talking about remote controlled cars. Now, this is a little bit out of date by the time this goes out. But a few weeks ago now, the Ministry of Defence in the UK revealed the new Dragonfire laser. Have you seen it?
Dragonfire laser? No, I haven't.
Well, you're a donut, mate. Because basically, what it is, it's a So basically, mate, it's a laser. So this is what this is what the official government website says about it, right? It is a military laser which could boost the UK armed forces with greater accuracy while reducing the reliance of high-cost ammunition as has reached its next milestone, is what they've said.
So it's just a giant laser. I'm looking at an image of it.
It's a giant laser. It's a giant laser that shoots missiles out the sky and drones.
Just from the sky. That's bloody terrifying.
Yeah, a lot of people have already compared it to the Death Star, and which I do not blame them because fair enough, it does look like a Death Star laser. Also, this is the type of shit they talked about during the Cold War with the literal. I'm not talking about the films here. The literal Star Wars that they were that were a thing at the time, which is where George Lucas got the idea from, by the way. But yeah, so basically, here's some fun facts about it, or here's what it is basically for anyone that doesn't know. So the range is officially classified, but it has a line of sight. It's a line of sight weapon that can engage with any visible target. So as long as it can see it, it'll fire, or it can fire. And the precision required is apparently equivalent to hitting a pound coin from a kilometre away.
What? Oh my gosh.
And for anyone worrying that this is going to cost an absolute fortune to your tax bill, the cost of operating the laser is apparently typically less than £10 per shot. It's less than a tenner per use, I guess. And it can so firing it for 10 seconds is cost equivalent of using a regular heater for just an hour, apparently. Which, considering it's a laser that shoots missiles out the sky, I think is pretty bloody good.
I mean, what would you rather do? Have the heating on for an hour or shoot a giant laser for 10 seconds?
Giant laser.
For 10 seconds?
Yes, giant laser. If you're telling me I have the chance to fire a Death Star-esque weapon at something for 10 seconds, you're giving me the option to do it for free, yes, I'm fucking doing it. I think anyone would.
Yeah, I might actually agree with you.
Exactly, like who wouldn't do that, right? Yeah, this is the Defence Secretary Grant Shapps' official words on it. Okay, he said this type of cutting-edge weaponry has the potential to revolutionise the battle space by reducing the reliance on expensive ammunition while also lowering the risk of collateral damage. Investments with industry partners in advanced technologies like Dragonfire are crucial in a high contested world, helping us maintain the battle-winning edge and keeping the nation safe. That is what he said about it.
Yeah, this seems very overpowered.
Oh, it is. It does seem that way, yeah. And by the way, its official title is an energy weapon. Typically something only heard of in video games, like Fallout, Halo, various others.
It makes you wonder where like weapons are gonna go.
Oh, Dan, it will turn into energy weapons. It will be like this. It will just be handheld versions of this. So what it is it is technically, its official acronym is a laser directed energy weapon, so an LDEW. And it's the first of its kind, apparently. So yeah, that's a thing.
I don't know if that's worrying or
It's not, Dan. It's for us. We live in the UK. They're not going to use it against us, so it's fine.
when you think of how weapons are going to evolve, it's like yeah, and then you look at other countries. It's like what if another country had that weapon? What could they do with it?
Yeah, well, that's not our concern as of this moment because they've just unveiled it. Well, I say just revealed it. It's been about like a week and a half, 2 weeks for us. But by the time this comes out, it's probably like 6 weeks out of date. So apologies, viewers. And the images of it are just insane. It looks like something out of a game. It just looks like, yeah, it's mental. Actually, speaking of all of this, right? Do we think body modifications will evolve alongside the weapons? So like as so do you think humans will like do you think we'll basically create like power armor essentially? If anyone doesn't know what power armor is, look it up. It's a Fallout thing. But basically it's like an Iron Man suit, basically. And do we think body mods like that are gonna be do we think cybernetics are gonna be used basically?
Yeah, I definitely think that there's going to be like some sort of Iron Man type suit. I reckon someone can do that.
I mean, didn't there's a guy called Robert Browning. He owns a company called Gravity Industries, I think. He's working on a real life Iron Man suit. Like he's essentially strapped. He's basically strapped jets to his hands.
I reckon jetpacks are easily a thing.
Jetpack. Do you think there'll be a thing during our lifetime?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, potentially.
If that's doable and you've got armor, then possibly.
But what about body mods though? Do you reckon we'll get like cybernetics basically? And when I say I don't just mean like prosthetics.
Speaking of which, cybernetics, right, and body modification. I've found this guy. He's a Spanish artist called Manuel Diaguas. Um, he did something that's fucking weird. Has it is probably the weirdest thing I've seen. He surgically implanted these fins. These fins are obviously inspired from fish, and he literally inserted them into his own head. And these fins, they take the appearance of like white seashells, and he inserted them on both sides of his head, above the ears and into his skull at the temporal bones, so that he could hear the weather.
Hold on, go back. Did he say he wanted to hear the weather, so he put some things in his head?
He also wired them to his brain, and they serve as an organ. Like they're a functional organ as well. So they're not only wired to his skull, but they're connected to his brain.
What on earth?
Yeah,
Yeah, someone's gonna dig up that skeleton in like 50 to 100, or I don't know how old the guy is. Some guy's gonna dig up that body at some point in the human future and see that and go, "What on earth was this human?"
it also allows him to detect changes in temperature, humidity, and atmospheric pressure as well. It, it gets weirder than that. I think you're gonna like the next bit. The fins are also charged with solar energy, and they connect to devices via Wi-Fi.
What? So he connected his brain to Wi-Fi. What? Oh my! Okay, this is not the level of cybernetics I was thinking about. Like, not at all. I was thinking, like I don't even know, like zoomer, like dual zoomer eyes, or X-ray vision, or super hearing. Not not this shit.
Also, in the words of Diaguas himself, he described the detection in stimuli as being submerged in a liquid environment that is constantly changing its properties. So imagine that every time the temperature changes.
Ugh. Wait, when we say temperature changes, do we mean like minor temperature changes, or are we talking like drastic? Because if we're talking like 1 or 2 degrees, that's got to be so annoying. You walk into a room that's like 1 degree lower.
He actually did say himself that it took like 3 months for him to get used to, pretty much.
That doesn't shock me at all. I'm surprised it took that little time.
Yeah, I would probably go mad. It's a very weird reason. I don't know why.
That's a bit. Is he like some what's a meteorologist? That's it. Is he a meteorologist, or is he just a normal Donny that just decided I want to hear the weather?
I think it's just a normal person. I got it out of a Ripley's Believe It or Not book, the 2023 edition. He also did explain that the Finns have helped build empathy towards nature. So take of that as you will.
Interesting. Would you ever implant anything in your head, technology or otherwise?
No, not really. That's very weird. What I would do, I wouldn't mind plugging information into myself. If it was like if there was like a memory chip that had information about, I don't know, fucking physics to pass a physics exam.
So like a USB stick, just stick it into your brain.
If yeah, like plugging information into your head.
See, see that there's a fine line between just wanting to see that stuff, right, and just learning stuff, and just absolute chaos. There's a very fine line.
So that's the thing. If you're plugging,
Because if you put the internet in your head, the internet is not a nice place.
I don't know, because like the thing is though, if you plug information into yourself, like it's not going to make you any smarter. You're just going to be the same person. It doesn't help your thinking.
Yeah, but I feel like at a point you'll be so reliant on it.
It just makes people more complacent and more lazy, I think.
Yeah, and also like I don't think plugging anything into your head is a good idea. Like unless it's for a medical reason that it's either that or you die, fair enough. But if you're just doing it because because you want to hear the weather, it's a bit weird and could go very very wrong.
Yeah, I do think there's a fine line between, you know, luxury and, is this actually good for you? Will it harm you in long term?
I don't think putting anything in your body that shouldn't be there anything that shouldn't be in your body should remain outside your body. And that goes for vaping as well. So if I guarantee there's at least one person listening to this right now vaping.
A lot of people at uni vape.
You're a donor. You're putting chemicals in your lungs that don't need to be there. You don't want bloody blue raspberry flavored lung cancer.
That's the thing. It just. I mean, I don't vape or smoke, but it just for them it. Would I use the word taste? Or it tastes nice. So I guess it stimulates taste buds.
Yeah, but it's flavored lung diseases. Like
It's addictive though. If you ask someone who smoked, then they're giving up smoking, and it's like really really hard.
it's just like one of my old sixth form mates, right? He started to vape while we were a sixth form, and I remember him saying like, "Oh, I'll only ever use it to like calm myself down after an exam." It got it like a week later, he couldn't go a day without it.
Yeah, because people see it as a coping mechanism when they're stressed, and then it gets addictive. Yeah, yeah, I know, and especially like with vaping, it's said to not, not be as bad as smoking.
Yeah, it may not be as bad, but it's still bad. You're still putting chemicals in your lungs that don't need to be there.
It's still an addictive habit. Yeah, I think that's why vaping is like more prominent these days compared to smoking.
Actually, have you seen the government have made it illegal? So anyone that is currently the age of 14 won't ever be able to buy cigarettes legally, anyway.
What's the legal age? It's 18, isn't it?
So it's 18, but anyone that is 14 now, by the time they're 18, they won't be allowed to buy cigarettes ever again, like ever.
Oh right, really?
So that yeah, because the government are trying to make a smoking-free generation, as they said.
Bloody hell! How are they going to do that?
They're just going to ban cigarettes entirely. So they'll see it. They'll set a date. They'll say like I don't know, what 14-year-old, what year were 14-year-olds born in? 2010, 2010. Yeah. So anyone from yeah. So like I think what they'll do is anyone 2010 onwards is not going to be able to buy cigarettes ever. I assume.
I imagine there has to be some sort of gradual transition, though, because you can't just like get rid of cigarettes straight away.
Yeah, probably. No, I think they are just doing a cut off. I think they are just doing a cut off, mate.
So they're just going to cut it off one day. That's it, gone.
Yeah, I think they're just going to go right. No, what they've said is Dan is if you like anyone at the age of 14 right now will not be able to buy cigarettes when they're 18 or older.
No, they're probably going to turn to like the black market, and then
Oh yeah, almost definitely. But that's neither here nor there.
if people want to smoke, they're going to smoke. I mean, that's the way people are.
Let's get to a bit of a more light-hearted topic, shall we? Instead of slating a large amount of the population. So, would you, seeing as it's Valentine's Day in 2 days, as of when this goes out anyway, would you like to hear some Valentine's traditions from around the world?
Yeah, go on. Let's hear them.
So, we'll start off in Japan. We've mentioned Japan quite a lot in these traditions around the world kind of things. So on Valentine's Day in Japan, it's customary for women to give men chocolate on Valentine's Day, as opposed to the other way around. And there are two types of chocolate as well. There is Giri Choco, which means obligation chocolate, and is basically given to male friends, colleagues, or relatives. And Honmei Choco, which means a true feeling chocolate, which is given to a romantic partner or a crush. So women give the men chocolate.
Here, the only two chocolates that I've given are Galaxy and Lindor. So
No, I don't think it's that kind of chocolate, mate. South Africa, many people celebrate Valentine's Day by wearing the hearts on their sleeves. Not literal hearts, I hope. But they pin the names of their loved ones on their shirts, sometimes revealing their secret admirers to the world. Denmark, couples exchange white flowers called snowdrops, as well as funny poems or love notes called Gekabrev. I think I've butchered that, but when do we not? Which are basically written on intricately cut paper, signed with dots. If the recipient guesses the sender's name, they get sent an Easter egg later on in the year.
yeah, some places have definitely have interesting traditions. I mean, here we do absolutely nothing, and it's barely celebrated. I think in a moronic or not section, I think I voted it as moronic.
Almost definitely. I mean, it's very much a holiday for those in relationships. For those who are single and are not yet mingling, it's nothing for you.
Doom and gloom.
In Wales, the traditional gift for Valentine's Day is a wooden spoon carved with symbols and patterns that have different meanings, such as hearts, keys, or horseshoes. The custom dates back to the 17th century, so the 1600s, when sailors would make these spoons for their sweethearts while at sea. In Brazil, Valentine's Day is not celebrated in February at all. It's actually celebrated on June the 12th, weirdly, which is it's actually the eve of St. Anthony's Day. So St. Anthony is the patron saint of marriage and matchmaking, and many people pray for him for a good partner. So therefore, on the day, couples exchange gifts, flowers, chocolates, and singles perform rituals to find their soulmates. So maybe this year, Dan, you've got to perform a ritual and you'll find your soulmate. Maybe that's what you got to do this year. Any singles out there, if you want to try that, let us know how it goes. Not that we care, but you know, I don't think you have to sacrifice anything. Look into it, people, because we're not going to. To put it simply. Yeah, there are some Valentine's traditions from around the world. What's your favourite out of those, Dan? Japan, South Africa, Denmark, Wales, or Brazil?
The spoons one.
Wales? Fair enough. I like Wales or Denmark.
Yeah. I think spoons is just random. I think that's the tumbleweed of what you've mentioned.
The tumbleweed was the worst one. It's the most. No, it's not. Bloody. What's it called? Wearing your significant other's name on your shirt is a bit weird, to us anyway. That's the weirdest one, I think.
Yeah, that's very strange.
But I think the Denmark and Wales ones are quite sweet, actually. So who knows? Maybe I'll do those in future. You know what? On that light-hearted note, I think it's time to end. So if you guys have enjoyed the video, go ahead, do us a favour and hit the like button. And if you want to see more like this, you can go ahead and subscribe. And we shall see you in the next one.
Bye.